Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the fastest gold coin farming method in Palworld's 1.0 update. I'll be showing you the best methods for the early game, mid game, and late game. And for just a couple minutes work, you can see here we got 2.5 million gold coins. And this can net you upwards of like 30 million per hour. And best of all, capturing PAL merchants lets you do this straight from our base, and the secret sauce here is Dumud Gild. What's great about this is we can actually create these relatively early on. The farming or the breeding method is to take a Dumud and mix it with an Ike 30 Terra. Now to get an Ike 30 Terra, we got to take a regular Ike 30 and combine it with Hang You. So if you breed those two together, you get this, and you can get yourself a Dumud on this island just right here. So I set up my base conveniently right by the level 14 Dumud. And if you want to skip breeding the Ike 30 and the Hang You, you can actually get a Ike 30 Terra on this island here, the Sanctuary. Now we can guarantee that we're going to get the best value out of this by using a Broncherry and a Broncherry Aqua. So PAL eggs that you pick up have a 45% chance of becoming an alpha PAL egg. This does not stack, but it does stack with Broncherry's version, so, Broncherry Aqua's version. So if you have both of these here, you have a 100% chance of getting an alpha egg whenever you pick it up. Broncherry can actually be gathered really early on in the game. Broncherry is just in this location here. And then if you want to get yourself a Broncherry Aqua, you would then combine Broncherry with Flock. Although if you want to save some time, right by the Yormantide, if you go to the west, right here is where you can find some Broncherry Aquas after the 1.0 update. Because yeah, they did end up moving them around. Now I just want to note that you don't need the 5-star passive here. This gives you the highest chance of getting an alpha, but you can do this early on without having them fully maxed out. So don't worry too much about that. It's something to work towards. Another thing we'd like to have is Grintail. This is a PAL that whenever you pick up an egg, it has a 75% chance of receiving one extra. And lucky for us, Grintail can be acquired just right here on the map. And to get the highest value out of this, it's preferred to have your PALs have the Noble, which increases the value of items sold by 5%, and Fine Furs, which increases by 3%. Your other two party members don't really matter, just go with whatever you find best. But you want to have these passives, something to work towards. You don't need them, but it increases your profits greatly. So that's for your party pals, but for your base, we want to have Braloha here. So this will increase the egg production speeds of pals assigned to the breeding fire by 50%. Having one of these at your base is great. It also can do some planting, which lets us get vegetable cakes, which is amazing. Now, one of the ingredients we do need is honey. Bee-Guard is the only way to get it. You can't purchase it from the merchants, and you're going to want to have 2 of these assigned to a ranch to be able to do that. Now, I like to have something with kindling here, so I have Ragnarok, but it really just depends where you're at in the game. You can use Incineram earlier on in the game. Anything that has kindling skill, preferably with something else like transporting there, is great on both of these here, so just having 1 or 2 of them. Now, I like to have a Broncherry also on base, anything that can water, so you can take really whatever you got. Jelliet, Gelroy, you name it. We just want to be creating crops, and I'll show you exactly why we want to do that. I have another Incineram here, Hellzephyr Lux to power electricity. Again, this is more so if you want it, this is later in the game if you want to use the electric-based incubators, and we need to have at least 4 Dumud Gild. So I showed you how to create those by breeding, and I also like to have Chillet because he's my favorite, and having some ice is around is nice too for milk and eggs. So here's an overview of what the base looks like. I just built up. I like to put the beds there. You can do this on the ground. It'll be much better if you do it that way. We're going to have 1 ranch here. This is going to be where we're getting honey from, a mill for the flour, and then I have crops here. So wheat, tomatoes, and lettuce, as well as berries here. So this is to feed them, but also to create the cakes that we need, which we'll get to in just a moment here. Later on, you can use these breeders here, but normally you're going to want to use the egg incubators, and you can pack up 5 of them in a row with a like a campfire right by it to keep them warm. 2 of the breeding here, and I have 2 assigned Dumud Guilds, because we need to make cake to be able to create extra pals. So cake is the most basic one. I would actually recommend going, if you're in later to mid game, creating vegetable cake, because you can create tomatoes, lettuce, and flour at your base, and then we can purchase eggs, which I'll show you in just a moment. You still need honey for both of these, so that's why we need Bee-Guard, because you can't purchase honey, but if you have 2 Bee-Guards running, you can keep this sustained very well. Vegetable cake is best because it lays 2 eggs at once, speeding up this process, but just a single cake works great too, and you can purchase everything except honey from a vendor. So you want to have a PAL merchant captured alongside a wandering merchant. The reason being is we can put this into our base here. He'll pop up right behind us. Then we can go ahead and buy what we need. So from here you can buy eggs, milk, red berries, wheat. This is great because you can buy as many of these as you want. And what's amazing about that is we're making so much gold that you can literally just keep spamming all of this. And you don't even have to worry about farming it. But I do have the PALs here because obviously we have the capacity to. but you basically always want to have your flour being created in the mill here. So always work on that. Turning your wheat into the flour here is essential, so it just saves us some time and money, and then you can just put all that into the into your ingredient box there. Honey will always be the limiting factor, so if you want to put another ranch down and put more bee guards down, that can work too, but essentially you're going to be using both of these types of cakes here. Coming over to your breeding section and then plopping them down inside. When that happens, you're going to see we get tons of eggs. So make sure that whenever you do collect these, that you do have Broncherry Aqua in your party and Broncherry. This will activate and give you an alpha egg, and Grintail will sometimes give you additional eggs. So going ahead here, pick up all the eggs that you possibly can at one given moment here. Now, if you're in the early game, as mentioned, you're going to use just basic egg incubators here with a campfire nearby. Later on, that's why I want to have the electricity pal, because you can literally just set these all in. Go ahead here and set all your eggs. So now that we got that all done, you can see that they're not making eggs just yet, but they're working on it. So what we're going to do at this point is just go collect all the eggs here and just continually keep collecting, and then you can place the other ones in. So what this is doing is giving us the resources that we need to then come swap our wandering merchant for the pal merchant here, talk to them, and then you're going to sell, and then just go through and find all the Dumud Gilds. They're actually really easy to find because they're gold and they stick out like this. And boom, for 40 of them, that's 2 million right there. So that was just real quick, easy gold. Two other things with the Dumud Guilds. You want to have the philanthropist whenever assigned to a breeding farm. That's increased the breeding speed by 100%. And also having farmhand, which increases the farm work suitability. This is more so because whenever you do that, we're actually getting more gold per Dumud Guild. I did try with a bunch of other passives, but it just seems like going with farmhand and philanthropist is the best combo. The other two don't matter. I didn't even have my best selling pals equipped in my inventory there for that, but yeah, you get the idea. Basically, you get into a flow of going, grabbing your eggs, throwing them in the incubator, creating cakes over here, selling them, and swapping on the merchants as you see fit. As you have increased size, you can expand to a third hatchery here and get even more results from this. But as you can see there, you can get millions of gold per like minutes. It's insanely how quick this is. And it's much better than using like the gold coin assembly. It's better than having Dumud Guilds assigned to a ranch because they'll drop gold coins, but it's not enough. You don't get as many. You could literally be doing that for like an hour and you won't get the same amount as like one of these sold. So this is by far the best method to be able to get yourself gold coins in Palworld's 1.0 update. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. I try to cover as much of this as possible, but if you found this video useful, check out my other Palworld videos. I do have a bunch of different guides on how to like duplicate your items, how to get a lot of different things, max out your pals in like literally minutes. You can go 1 to level 78 in literally 2 minutes. Palworld's 1.0 update has been incredible so far. So I hope you guys all have a great day. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed, and we'll catch you all in the next video.